Winter fuel and cold weather payments are no longer fit for purpose, according to Age Concern.
With rising fuel costs and the extreme conditions, the charity is calling for an immediate review of payments to the elderly to prevent a big increase in deaths this winter. Mariam Mashiri reports.
Trying to keep warm, 73-year-old Mary Phillips lives alone in southeast London. Through this extremely cold weather, Mary has been keeping her heating on, but is worried about paying her bills.
I've had to keep the heating on a lot of the day, and usually it's on a timer, but the last few days I've had to have it on all the time, and I'm very worried that my energy bills will go up so much that I have to eat less and heat more.
1 in 3 households in Britain is headed by a person of pension age, and with this cold snap predicted to be one of the longest on record, the worry is many of them won't be able to afford to keep their houses warm.
The issue, this particular winter, it's the length of time it's been cold which is really causing the problem.
Age Concern is calling for an urgent increase in payments to the elderly.
We have seen different bits of so-called progress being made, but it's nothing like fit for purpose. The winter fuel payment no longer pays very much of a normal energy bill. The insulation and draft proofing programmes are not working very broadly. And the consequences are going to be more people die, more people are going to get ill, put pressure on the NHS, more people are going to feel miserable.
But the government says it's already reviewed its payments policy.
We specially increased the cold weather payment last year from £8.50 a week to £25 a week, which I think is a substantial increase. And we kept it at that high level this year precisely for this kind of situation. And it will be paid every week that the weather is particularly cold to all the people who are entitled to it.
So what help is actually out there? The government pays a winter fuel payment to anyone over the age of 60. It's a one-off amount of between £250 and £400. Then there's a cold weather payment, which is paid when the temperature stays at or below 0 for a week to people who are already on some benefits. As well as any government help, there are also special tariffs offered by energy companies to the vulnerable. There's also the Warm Front scheme in England, which offers help with insulating your home. Similar schemes are on offer in Scotland and Wales. The government says it's already paid out £200 million in cold weather payments during this cold snap, and it has no plans to raise payments to pensioners any further.
The other night I was so cold that I had to get out of bed, move my pillows and everything up to the other end of the bed, not next to the window, because it was so cold that I thought I might be going to freeze to death.
With the cold weather predicted to carry on, people like Mary continue struggling to keep warm. Mariam Mashiri, BBC News.
Well, Rob Tolan is from the charity Elizabeth Finn Care, which campaigns for more help for vulnerable people. And we're talking through various specifics here. Now, you may be able to help with some of these ones. Lots of people have been in touch with us today. Here's one for you. I'm on disability living allowance. To date, I've not received any payments. I'll be grateful if you could direct me on how to apply for this payment, as I was led to believe that this would be an automatic payment. That was from Peter. What's the steer on that one?
I think the government's been quite backward in coming forward in terms of advertising what's available, maybe for obvious reasons times are hard. But you can actually go onto the Department of Work and Pensions website and put in your postcode. That will tell you how many consecutive days that the temperature's been freezing or below, and then you can, from then you can apply for your allowance.
So if you're on the disability living allowance, you would then qualify, assuming the weather has been...
You do qualify, but you don't qualify for the winter fuel allowance, which is something we're campaigning for. So if you have a disability and you're housebound and you're completely immobile and you need to heat your home the whole time, you're not eligible for that. It's only pensioners, so it's selective.
We had another one similarly on the cold winter allowance. Janice has emailed in. Her mother-in-law's 82 years old, lives in sheltered accommodation, isn't on any benefits, yet other people in the same accommodation who are on benefits are getting this £25 cold winter allowance. She's asking, how can this be fair?
Well, the way that the government measures it is by ascertaining who is on benefits. So anyone on pension credits, which is indicative of being on a low income, or anyone in receipt of income support or other benefits, will be entitled to it. But it may be that she's not considered to be a low enough earner to be eligible for this.
Is it your evidence? I know that your charity works with vulnerable people. That's quite a big category. But is it your evidence there are people really suffering at this time and literally not putting on the heating for fear that they haven't got the money to pay the bills?
Absolutely. I mean, about 49% of the people that we help are, I think it's 49–50% are pensioners, and 7% of the people that have come to us have said that they were skipping meals, and a further 45% said that they had to cut down on the heating in their homes during the winter months. So people are definitely making the choice as to whether to heat or eat, which is not really acceptable in a modern affluent society.
What's the likelihood that we're going to see these payments increase?
They have increased in the last year, which is something we've very much supported.
But we've had the extreme weather conditions in the last 2 weeks.
They would need to increase to quite a significant amount in terms of them to be able to keep up with the drastic rise in fuel prices over the last few years. I don't think there is going to be much likelihood of them increasing, mainly because of what we've seen today about the Chancellor talking about cuts and that kind of thing. So, you know, money is tight.
OK, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
And thank you all for your emails this morning. A lot of interest in that story today.